All right. We back. Well, we finna play this time, bro. Hey, the daytime just be for people to come in and drop their advertisements, like I pretty much been telling everybody since I opened the asylum. Just come in and advertise your small business. It's fucking simple. If you have a small business, come into the asylum, drop your link for free. It's advertisement. If you don't want to, cool, because word of mouth gets every small business off the ground. And then that's when they implement their, I guess, if you ever read a company statement or overview, it tells you how they started, what they were, and what they became, meaning stepping stones. When you have a blueprint for a business, you know where you want to take your business. I started off hustling everything, but I've been hustling since what? Since I started working at what, 8, 9 years old, before child labor laws and shit. But that's what my family was. We always got out there, we hustled. We ain't never want to ask nobody for shit, because when you ask people for shit, they hold it over your head and be like, remember that time I did this? Remember that time I did that? I ain't never wanted nobody to hold shit over my head. That's why I always pay homage and respect to my elders and my ancestors before me, but also my ancestors after me. They know why. I don't have to explain to nobody else. I'm forever going to be loyal to my family. But everybody else is fresh meat. If you ain't in my family, fuck you. I don't care. If a motherfucker separate from me, hey man, fuck that nigga, I don't fuck with that nigga. That's all I be wanting to hear. Cause if you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you. Now you've given me peace, cause now I ain't gotta ever say shit to you. And that's why I address people a certain way. What's up, fam? What's up, cuz? What's up, bro? You know what I'm saying? As a family member. If they blood related, that's exactly what I call them. Or I call them by their name. What's up, Rick, brother? You know what I'm saying? Because that's my fucking brother. If we family, I'm not finna fight you. I'm not finna beef with you. None of that shit. Because I know everybody going through their turmoil. When my brother was going through shit with single mothers, I heard his perspective, but I also listened to his ex-wife's perspective. What I didn't believe is what I didn't believe, and what I did believe is what I did believe. Same thing with my ex-wife. When she gave me her perspective, I believed what I wanted to believe. Everything else, I discarded. And likewise with her, she believed what she wanted to believe, and everything else she kept or discarded. I don't care. All I know is it's a lot of bullshit being spread about me. And then when I started telling my perspective, everybody wanted me to shut up, and I was like, fuck out of here. Y'all motherfuckers is about to drag my name through the mud, and I was like, the fuck out of here.
A special teams
motherfuckers tried to frame me as some shit that I never was.
The officials offer the deal and the coach accepts it.
But it's cool. I get why. I get why. I know why they did it. I know why they did it. Because they swear we be trying to act holier than thou. Like, no, we listen to our fucking mama. Y'all some fucking mama boys. When y'all gonna get from under y'all mama and do what y'all want to do? Like, we've been doing what we want to do since forever, because our mama always told us, do whatever the fuck you want to do, but do it at home. That was her only rule. Whatever the fuck you want to do it at home. And I was like, bet. Look, I understood the assignment. Everything I ever did was at home. Good or bad. Call me mama's boy. I don't give a fuck. It kept me out of prison. And I know why my mama told me that shit. Because she wanted to keep me out of fucking prison. Because it's a lot of shit that you do. If you do it in certain venues, oh, get out of here. I threw that shit right to him. If you do it in certain venues, that's where you're going to end up. You smoke in certain venues, they're going to take you to jail. If you got warrants, you're going to sit there for a minute. That's prison to me, because even sitting in jail is time away from my children. And I love being around my children. And that's been since the beginning, whether it was nephews, nieces, I love being around children, but not in no funny way. Not in no funny way. I love to see them have fun. I love to see kids smiling, man. That shit does something to me. It's just, it makes your heart beat a little stronger. You feel me? You're like, man, I used to be that. And then look at me now. Like, I'm so fucked up mentally, spiritually, but that's what everybody thinks. And I'm like, when the fuck did I ever tell you I was fucked up mentally, physically, or spiritually? I never told you that. I said my heart is turning cold because society's heart is turning cold. Everybody hate each other nowadays. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, everybody claim that they're neighbors, they're brothers, they say, you know, they family. Like, how are you family if you hate your family member, if you hate your neighbor? The motherfucker that stay next door to you, you can't stand that motherfucker. But see, that's the beauty of the underground, as they call it. But when I say the underground, that's the beauty of true America. The true Americans banded together. They acted like neighbors because guess what? They were fucking neighbors. And if they weren't neighbors, then there was a good chance that they were about to be neighbors, because a lot of people that didn't get along had to start living next to each other because that's where they had no choice but to move. A lot of my Caucasian friends that were like, oh my God, you're still talking about this slavery shit? Get over it. They had to move into the hood. And they saw what we was talking about. We weren't talking about slavery. We was talking about our hood. When you go to the suburbs are beautiful. The roads are paved. There aren't any cracks. There aren't any, you know, it's beautiful. They beautify certain areas and then they leave the hood to rot. And then they wonder why we're so disgruntled, because remember, a lot of Uber drivers, a lot of any food delivery drivers like DoorDash or whatever, they are going to these influential or affluent areas and they're seeing how beautiful they are. And then they got to come back to their hood and see how desolate and fucking run down it is. But they blame us, and we're like, how the fuck are you blaming us when you're taking our tax money and you're not doing shit that you said you was going to do with it? Meaning cleaning up our roads, changing our septic systems, doing this, doing what the fuck we're paying you to do. That's what the fuck taxes are for. But yet, like I said, man, they can be angry at me. I don't give a fuck. Again, I'm educating my people. These fucking politicians is pushing envelopes to each other. Fucking lawyers out here running game on each other. If you give me him, I give you him. You know what I'm saying? He's a small fish to me, but he might be a big fish in your case. He might be your first win. So let me get you your first win, and then after they get you your first win, guess what? You're going to keep coming to them to feed you wins. Look at The Devil's Advocate, for instance. It's a movie, The Devil's Advocate, Al Pacino, Keanu Reeves. That's what they kept doing. At the end of the movie, he revealed it. Kevin, you weren't winning because you're a good lawyer. You were winning because I was handing you wins. I was giving you easy cases. And then he found out that the devil was his fucking father. I'm not saying shit like that in my life, but watch The Devil's Advocate. It's a metaphor. Everything you watch is a fucking metaphor, and if you can't break down metaphors, they are going to go over your head. That's why that phrase exists. That shit went over your head. Because I said it in layman's term and you still couldn't understand what I was saying. That's what it means when somebody said, man, that shit went over your head. Like I said, that shit is simple as I could put it, and you still couldn't comprehend what I'm saying? Now, in some instances, people will call you certain names. Like, damn, that motherfucker dumb as hell. I never do that to my people. I continue to educate them. And when they get tired of talking, when they get tired of me talking, they give me a symbol like, bro, I get it. You can stop now. My family gave me the goddamn code. We get it. But again, as I continue to talk, I let my family know, continue sitting still because I'm not talking to y'all. My arrows hit the target that they're supposed to hit. That's all I'm going to say. And if you sit back and you observe and you watch behind the scenes, you'll see why the smoke and mirrors are needed. You'll see why the crisis have to be created. Like a lot of people think that 9/11 was created to bring people together, and guess what? It was, because then people started thinking we could all die tomorrow. Why can't I be more friendly? But that's what the Bible is for. They're telling you that for so many reasons. They took the Bible and they started scripting the shit out. But remember, the Bible is man-made anyway, because most of the passages are somebody's interpretation of an encounter with an outer worldly experience. Regardless how you want to frame it, when you look at the gospel of Paul, it says the gospel according to Paul. It says the gospel according to Mark, according to Luke, meaning that person wrote their experience with an outer worldly body or out of body experience, and they wrote it down. They probably got high or drunk, whatever, who cares? And then they wrote their account. They said they followed Jesus. They said they did this. They say they did that. When I was listening to him teach, this is what he said. That's their perspective. But it's so many different perspectives, and they all, let's say, what's the word? Everybody know the word. It's contradict. All of the passages contradict each other. Because in one instance, everybody say he was a good man, he did this, he did that, he did that. But then the passages that spoke negatively of him, those were the ones that were removed. It's kind of like on Google when you go for a search, or I'm sorry, when you put up a review on a restaurant, that restaurant has the power to remove any negative comments that you put. You don't think they did that with the Bible? That's why there are passages missing from every single civilization. Remember, the Mayans had a Bible. The Mayans had a calendar. And they predicted that the world would end at such and such time. And we're way past when they said that the world would be eradicated. That's all I'm gonna say. The Mayans disappeared. Other humans are still here. Who else? Nostradamus. He wrote so many passages when he was high. This is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen. They were pinpoint accuracy until it got to the doomsday. You know what I'm saying? He said the world was going to end at Y2K. Y2K was what, 1999 or whatever? 2000? But yet here we are 24 years later. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying Armageddon isn't real. All I'm saying is everybody that predicted Armageddon so far, they have been wrong. But remember, even the Bible says no man knows the time or the hour, the return of the Savior. So you get what I'm saying? Like, the shit makes sense to who it's supposed to make sense to. You can read the Bible, but once you comprehend it for yourself, that's when you meet your maker. That's when you meet whoever it is you're supposed to meet, and they'll answer any fucking question you want to. Remember, Moses saw a burning fucking bush, and a lot of people said that motherfucker high as a motherfucker to see a burning bush. But when he spoke to the bush, that bush said, I am that I am, meaning, oh, you're God. Okay, if that's what you want to call me, sure. But I am that I am. He never gave himself a name. It never gave itself a name. That's all I'm saying. God, whatever, Buddha, Feng Shui, whatever you want to call it. They never gave themselves a name. You can read any passage. And most of the biblical passages, that's exactly what God says. I am that I am. I appear to you as a chariot coming to pluck you up from the earth, away from other humans, because you're better than other humans. What was that man's name? Esau, Zechariah, whatever. I don't know. I don't care. Moses saw a burning bush, and when he went to tell the rest of the people, they looked at him like, motherfucker, what the fuck are you smoking or drinking? Just like people today. When you say, I had a near-death experience and I walked hell. Like, oh, nigga, what the fuck was you smoking? Like I literally just said, I almost died. Meaning, you have access to other worlds. I'll get my ass whooped 21-0. Maybe if I shut the fuck up and play. But nah, I had to get that shit out, man, because motherfuckers be they be tripping, bro. Motherfuckers get shit misconstrued because they don't really know you. They think they know you, but they really don't. They really don't, because nobody really takes the time to get to know anybody anymore. They assume, again, with racism. Think about racism. Somebody will see the color of your skin and assume you're this, or they'll assume you're that. If you wear a hoodie, they'll assume you're a gangbanger. And I'm like, motherfucker, I wear a hoodie because this motherfucker's comfortable, bitch. But it's 100 degrees. Okay, well, common sense dictates that if I'm walking around with a hoodie on in 100 degree weather, eventually I'm going to have to walk into an air-conditioned building. Why would I walk into an air-conditioned building sweating and get pneumonia? It makes sense to who it makes sense to, but a lot of motherfuckers don't use common sense. Because a lot of people will walk around with no protection, and again, they'll sweat. Come on, I lobbed that over his head. They'll sweat, and then they'll walk into a fucking air-conditioned building, and a couple of weeks later, they'll get sick, and they'll be wondering why they got sick. Well, possibly have pneumonia because you were sweating in the sun with a t-shirt on, and then you walked into an air-conditioned building where your body was instantly cooled. That's how sicknesses start. A doctor will tell you that. If your body cools off too fast, it goes into shock. It throws your body off balance. But you have to have common sense to understand this. Yes, I'm a nerd, if that's what the fuck motherfuckers want to call me. Call me whatever the fuck you want to call me. I don't care. Being intelligent, if that makes me a nerd, I love it. Because remember, intelligence began in Africa because we taught the world. Nobody mentioned what color was there. Nobody mentioned what creed was there, what tribe was there. Everything originated in Africa. It's been documented. It's in the fucking history books if you read and pay attention. In the beginning, it was dark. It was dark. And the deeper they dig into the earth, the darker it gets. Every fossil that they find now leads back where? They scrape the DNA and it leads back to Africa. I'm sorry, but I mean, motherfuckers can hate all they want and tell us we're inferior. I never said we were the master race. I never said we was the master anything. Again, I don't see color. I literally don't see color for a reason because I come from a blended family. I'm not just a black man. I come from a blended family. We have Native American in our blood. We got all kind of shit in our blood because remember, everybody was on a plantation and everybody was, to turn a phrase, passed around regardless. Everybody was passed around. That's what they did to us, and that's the mental illness that we have to this day. That is the mental illness. That is the physical illness. Every cancer, anything dealing with your blood can be translated back to the beginning of time. You have this disease because in your bloodline there was a disgusting motherfucker on a plantation that did some shit that they weren't supposed to do, but because it was fun, they did it. That's all I'm saying. But a lot of times we get ourselves in trouble having fun. It's fun to us until it starts to hurt us. But then once it hurts us, instead of us blaming those that hurt us, we bleed on others. Meaning, if I put a knife to your neck and I slit your throat, and you run up an alley, and this shit's gonna sound sadistic. This is why they ban my channel a lot. But I'm making it make sense. If I take a knife and I slit your throat and you run away from that scene, the first person that you run into, guess what you're gonna do? You're going to bleed on them. Get it? See how I broke that metaphor down? If we're in an alley and me and you are about to fight, I take a knife out and I cut your throat. You run up that alley and you find help. The first person that you come to, you're going to fucking bleed on. That's the metaphor. But in relationships, that's what we do. Somebody hurts us, and then we run to somebody else for help instead of trying to fix it with the person that cut us, or make them motherfuckers bleed on us. Hold them down as long as you can until your last breath, so that they can be caught in their crimes. Like Brock Turner. Remember Brock Turner? He raped a girl that was drunk behind a fucking dumpster. Yes, he went to prison, but there were other kids that did nothing. Somebody told a story, a lie on them, and said that they raped them, and they spent more time in prison than Brock Turner. That's all I'm gonna say. Is it fair? I don't know. He went to prison. Don't get me wrong. He went to prison, but his time was a lesser sentence than someone of color that allegedly did the same thing, meaning they didn't believe his story, but they believed hers. But it was a time of victim shaming, meaning if the judges would have went against her and said, I don't believe her, I'm going to side with him, he's innocent, then the entire nation would have imploded, because they'd have said, you sided with that nigger over that white girl. Race is always going to be a part of America. It's as racism is as American as apple pie. Because these motherfuckers don't ever want to get over the fact that they lost the Civil War. That's the problem right now. They want to fly their Confederate flags. They want to worship Trump. They want to do all this. They don't want to do all that. But what they don't realize, and this is the kicker. This is the kicker. This is the ultimate joke on their behalf. What they don't realize is everything that they've been fucking doing since a certain year has been documented, whether they wanted it to be documented or not. Because remember, after a certain year, Americans signed an act where they can be recorded for quality and training purposes from here on out, meaning for the rest of their lives. That's exactly what we're under now. But there are certain companies that will say, you know what? No. We're not going to infringe on your rights. And that's what the government is fighting against. That's what the government is fighting against. See, Apple, they want everything recorded for quality and training purposes. When you get an Apple phone, automatically you're being recorded for quality and training. But with Samsung, you have the option if you want to be recorded. But depending on your carrier, they're going to record you regardless. That's why they give you a contract when you sit down and buy your phone. They say you're going to have this phone for X amount of years. But if you don't read the fine print, what they're saying is, but we can monitor this phone for eternity. This is why during Obama's administration, he said, no. Y'all need to write these contracts in layman's terms so that the consumer knows what the fuck y'all doing. Did they do it? No. But yet, once you started asking questions, instead of them skipping past a section in the contract, which you should have been doing in the first place. When they try to skip over a point, no, don't read that, just sign right here. That means they don't want you to read the fine print. But when you stop them and ask, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't understand what that meant. What is an APR? They have to explain it to you. Why is it you said that this was the percentage, but when I did the math in my head, this is going to be $1,000, $10,000 over the market value. They hate it when you can think on your own, when you're independent. Like, nah, I'm going to read this contract. Why? Because I have a business of my own, and I know that my contracts with people are for that product that they're looking for. If they're getting a t-shirt, if they're getting supplements, I don't care. And I have to make sure that there's some integrity in that process. So far, I've got nothing but satisfactory reviews. the bad reviews come from what in the fuck does he be talking about? Or I don't like what he's talking about. He says he's for the kids and blah blah blah, woo woo, blah blah blah. Yeah, I am for the kids at a certain hour. But when my children go to sleep, meaning I'm off daddy duties, that's when I become an adult again. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people call me immature. I don't give a fuck. It's only immature to them because they don't understand why I'm doing it. I'm growing up with my children, and I want to show them what not to do. So when they do immature things, I'm like, hey, don't do that. Don't do that shit. And then I'll get on social media and I'll talk about it. Hey, man. But I frame it to where they're thinking, well, that's who they're learning it from. They learning it from you. Like, yeah, wrong answer. Wrong answer. They learned it from somebody else, and me and their mom, we corrected at home. That's why it's called fucking home training. You're supposed to send your child out into the world, let them learn. But when they bring some shit back into your house that you didn't teach them, now you have to ask them first, where the fuck did you learn it? And then once they tell you where they learned it, don't listen to that motherfucker ever again. Because they're trying to lead you somewhere that we're trying to keep you from. And our children understand that at 8 years old. So if that instruction didn't come from you and mom, I shouldn't follow it. Exactly. Because that adult is telling you some shit that you're not supposed to hear.
That might be overdoing it, keeping it away from the return man.
They name names? Yeah, I don't care. Because again, we're all mentally ill, but some people like to deny it. They like to say, ain't nothing wrong with me, I'm good, I'm good. I'm prayed up. I'm prayed up. God is protecting me. And I'm like, bro, like for real, go seek help. Go find a fucking doctor. Lay on a goddamn couch and talk about that shit. Or something. My old lady is my therapist. Because when I go to psychiatrists, I don't even listen to them. Because psychiatrists are the biggest fucking narcissists on the fucking planet. Why do I say that? Because every psychiatrist I've ever fucking went to, they listen to every word I spoke, and then they'll go and they'll say, well, what I heard from my perspective, and I'll look at them like, I don't want to hear that shit. I just gave you my perspective. I don't give a fuck what you heard. I gave you my perspective, my truth. Don't try to flip my truth to your truth. I know you're trying to understand it in your head, but if you were paying attention to every word that I just said, I laid it out in layman's terms, and I'm not going to explain it anymore. Meaning your perspective means fucking shit to me. And that's when they get angry at you. The psychiatrists, when you don't want to hear their perspective, that's when they get angry, because again, they're fucking narcissists. They want you to need them. That's why people become psychiatrists. They need you to need them. I give suggestions, but not suggestively. Meaning I don't try to hypnotize people. I don't try to entrance people. I just give them the information. If they use it, they use it. If they don't, they don't. I don't give a fuck. I'm only giving it from my perspective, because when they talk to me and when they ask me a question, I'm speaking from my perspective of when I went through that same exact situation. That's why people ask me questions. Hey man, you said you made it out of this situation. How the fuck did you do that? And I'll let them know. I'll let them know. I'll definitely let them know how I made it out. Because again, I pass information to my people. I don't withhold information from anybody. But the government and all kind of other entities, they are going to withhold every bit of information that they can from you, because they want to control you. They want a dystopian society. I just posted it on Facebook what a dystopian society is, but you can watch a film 1984 and it'll explain it. It's so many films you can watch. Minority Report. I have mentioned that shit on stream so many fucking times. It has Tom Cruise in it. And it's a story about people being punished for future crimes because a machine told them that that person was going to commit that crime. You listen to a fucking machine instead of a human. That's how you know motherfuckers rely more on machines than humans. But Devil's advocate is what I'm playing. Humans lie so fucking much, it's hard to fucking trust them. A motherfucker will look you in your goddamn eyes and be telling you a bold ass lie, and they'll hold the fuck on to that lie. Me, if I'm looking in your eyes, I'm being completely honest with you. And you can look into my motherfucking soul and fucking confirm it. Because the eyes are the windows to the soul. Because I'm looking into yours. That's exactly why I'm telling you the truth. I'm looking into your soul and saying, bro, who the fuck told you that shit? They told you wrong, bro. I hate to break it to you. They told you wrong. And 9 times out of 10, it's some shit that somebody heard about me. Hey, man, I heard nah. I don't give a fuck what you heard. What you heard about me is incorrect. Let me explain to you who I am. But a lot of people don't ever approach me to talk to me. They go based on some shit somebody tell them about me. Does it hurt my feelings? Hell no. Because I laugh at it. I laugh at it. It's funny to me. What about me made me unapproachable to where you're going to believe what somebody else said instead of what I fucking told you? That's delusional. When somebody is telling you their truth and you don't believe their truth, then you're being delusional. Hey, what's up, what's up, little bro? What's up, Vaughn? Oh yeah, I do have a YouTube, but we also got a Twitch too.
Perhaps emboldened by converting a 4th down earlier.
Hey, I appreciate that, young brother, man. Like, for real, that's all I be trying to do is pass knowledge to my people. But the YouTube, I'll give you my Twitch, and the only reason why I give out my Twitch is because you can go under a certain tab and it'll give you every link to all of my social medias. Because the same shit that I be saying on here, I be saying it on social media. I be breaking shit down into layman's terms for my people. You get what I'm saying? So my Twitch is twitch.tv/the, and that's THE_asylum, and that's ASYLUM, the number 2, the number 1, and that's us. Yes, sir. D_asylum 21.
Not a lot of drama, but there is a lot to fix on offense, on defense, on
again, like I said, it makes sense to who it makes sense to. Young brother turned his mic on and said, bro, I get what you saying, and you saying some right shit, because his pop's probably teaching him the same shit. And that's all the fuck I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give my people a chance, because remember, they keep moving the goalposts every time. Every time we running neck and neck, they move the goalposts. But if you running your own race, they can't move your goalposts. They can move their goalposts and tell you this is what you have to do to be considered equal to me. And I'm like, but remember, you're moving the goalposts so that I can prove that I'm better than you. You know I'm better than you, because every time I exceed your expectations, guess what you do? You move the goalposts. And that's what that metaphor means. Anytime a motherfucker know that you're their equal or better than them, they're always going to move the goalposts. I used to do it when I ran track. It's called pacing myself. I used to run the mile relay, or the mile, and it didn't hurt me. Like, I would run it. Sometimes I would run it full sprint. My full sprint, not anybody else's full sprint. My full sprint. And the person that was trying to keep up with me, I could hear them in the back, like trying to keep up, and they were huffing and puffing. And me, I'm just breathing like normal. You know how okay, if you ever rode a horse, or you've ever trained a horse, or if you know horses, you know once a horse gets to full gallop, it's breathing in its nose and out its mouth. It makes a certain sound. But with track, what they teach you
Here's
is
the handoff.
don't let them
Find
hear
your
you.
way to put that foot in the ground and get it up to
So
the
when I
37
hear
yard
my
line.
opponent huffing and puffing, I know that they're overexerting themselves to keep up with me. So what I do, I speed up even more to let them know, stop it. You're not going to catch me. The same thing Usain Bolt used to do when he was running. He let them know, I'm a stallion, bro. Get the fuck out of here. You're not gonna keep up with me. And if you do, I'm finna run this shit and make it look so goddamn easy that you're going to be discouraged. Yet it's not going to discourage a competitor, because that competitor is going to get better every year. But Usain Bolt made a lot of people quit running track because he was like, man, fuck out of here. That man was looking back, laughing, smiling at me, because he would find that person that was bleeding. Y'all think I'm bullshitting? Go talk to Usain Bolt. Why the fuck did you look back and just start smiling at your competitors? I guarantee you, if you can understand his Jamaican, he'll tell you that boy was huffing and puffing while I was running relaxed. And that's exactly who I was laughing at, because that's who thought he was finna fucking beat me, because he was talking all that shit before. I'm finna beat you this time. I'm finna beat you this year. You saying, boy, all right, brethren. All right, boy. Come prove it to me. Come prove it to me now. And then he get out there and he run at a graceful stride while these motherfuckers was running at full throttle. Listen, I ain't gonna say I know it all, but I know track. And when I watch Usain Bolt run, that motherfucker was hitting gears and just relaxed. He wasn't even full throttle. He didn't even open full throttle. And I think that's why he retired early, because I think he still had more left in the tank. But every year he wasn't even full throttle. He needed competition. He needed somebody to almost beat him, to make him feel like I competed. It wasn't competitive to him anymore. The same reason Michael Jordan retired. Basketball was so easy to him, he can do whatever he want. He retired. Like, man, these motherfuckers are easy. All they want to do is drink and smoke. Okay, let me show them. I'm drinking, I'm smoking all day, but yet when I get on that court, I'm still moving full stride. Y'all boys get tired after a certain time. That's why me and the Bulls went 72-10 and won a championship. Y'all boys was tired. Y'all got tired. Nigga, I went and played 18 motherfucking holes of golf while drinking and smoking cigars, meaning I'm putting poison into my lungs. I'm putting poison into my kidneys. I'm doing this just to prove to you that I'm better than you. Because I know in the third quarter, you're going to give out. I'm going to be full throttle. Or I can open my throttle even more, because we're already outpacing them. Look at the team he built. Look at Dennis Rodman. That motherfucker had a motor that never stopped. Like Dennis Rodman, how do you think he got his rebounds? He would literally knock motherfuckers off the ball because he's moving so fucking much. They don't know where he at. He's switching, changing, because he said he would watch how the ball came off the rim to know where it went, but he did that in practice. He would watch Michael Jordan's shot, and he knew when Michael Jordan was going to miss and where he was going to miss. Look at the video. Dennis Rodman said this shit himself. I went into practice, and the only thing that I watched was where they were going to miss their shot, if their legs were tired, because coaches would make you run a full practice and then they would pull you off into an individual drill. I saw you there. I saw you lacking in practice. I saw you slacking in practice on this drill. I need you to run this drill, because Friday when we on them boys' ass, when we up 20, I'm going to need you to stay on the gas so we can go up 30. That's what the coach was saying. You gave out of gas with your team, and I'm no. We finna drill until you get the shit. I'm finna sweat you out until you able to keep up with your teammates. But Dennis Rodman could keep up with his teammates because he just had that motor, and that's what coach is looking for. This motherfucker does not quit. Dennis Rodman fought for every fucking rebound so aggressively, like his life depended on it. And that's why Michael Jordan admired that shit. Like, what the fuck? It's a motherfucker that's gonna work as hard as me. But then there was Pippen. Then there was Paxton. Then there was them. But if you watch The Last Dance, he had to mold them into the players that he wanted to. That's why it always baffled me. Why the fuck did Scottie Pippen get so pissed off with Michael Jordan when he himself said on The Last Dance with the rest of their teammates, if Michael Jordan would have never got us in the gym with him, we'd have never been champions. We'd have never been champions. So Michael Jordan made you, but yet he didn't. Your work ethic made you. Michael Jordan just pulled it out of you. So I know your potential. Guess what? I'm going to set the example. I'm going to show up to practice every day an hour before everybody else. Kobe Bryant did the same thing. I'm going to leave practice an hour after everybody else. This is leadership. I'm going to show these motherfuckers that I am so insane with this shit. I love this shit so much. I'll take myself away from my family so that we can win a fucking championship, so that I can prove that there's a method to my madness. Yes, I'm insane in this fucking gym because I want a championship. You want to know why? These motherfuckers put me up there on a pedestal. They told me I was the best, and I believed it. You want to know why I believed I'm the best? Because I already believed that anyway, because my daddy told me that shit. My brothers told me that shit. You want to know why they told me that? Because when I got cut from that team, it built a fire in me. I went home and I played against my older brother, because now I understand what my older brother was saying is, if you pay attention to what I'm teaching you, you'll be the best fucking basketball player in the world. And Michael Jordan say all the time, his older brother Larry was his motivation to continue playing basketball, not his father. It was his older brother, because he said his older brother was better than him. He just was shorter than him. Imagine them two on the same team. They'd have won championship after championship after championship, because they have footage of Michael Jordan, older brother, and that motherfucker was good. That motherfucker was good as fuck. So imagine if they're saying Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Imagine if Larry would have had his chance. Imagine if they wouldn't have looked at him and said, "You're too short. I don't think you can compete with people in the NBA." Your brother, look, y'all were the same height, and then he had a growth spurt. Now he's 6'3". That's what I'm looking for in my offense. But Muggsy Bogues came out and hey, he destroyed the league as a short point guard. Imagine if Larry would have got that same chance. That's all I'm saying. Imagine if Larry Jordan would have got that same chance. And him and his brother were on the same team, just like LeBron and his son on the same team. Let them get their system in place. If LeBron can last a couple of years, let them get their system into place, and they working on call-outs and all this shit together, and they form a team around them two. Oh man, the Lakers gonna win another championship. That's all I'm saying. But the front office gotta have that mentality. Let's see how this father and son experiment work out. If it work out, cool. We gonna get him the players that he want. But if it don't, one of y'all gotta go. Hey, bruh, retire. We'll mold your son into the next thing in this league if he can prove that he has the same thing in his DNA as you. Because remember, Michael Jordan's children, they go hoop, but that wasn't their passion. That wasn't their passion. Jeffrey Jordan, if you look at his numbers when he was at UCF and other colleges, he was the leader of the team. He just didn't want to. He didn't want the limelight like his daddy did. Again, everything I'm saying can be. It is documented on the web. You can go and research it. You can go research it. Everything I'm saying, you can research it. But again, if you watch TV as you think you will, The Last Dance proved it all. That's why they released it. Like, y'all sitting here and y'all are villainizing a man that brought y'all 6 fucking championships, and you're saying he was a selfish ball hog. But you said on film in the 90s, when you were going through your dynasty, that had this man not gotten me in the gym with him,
They'll get it down to
I
the
wouldn't have been a
8-yard
champion.
line on that throw
So
and
there
catch.
was a
The
method to
defense
Jordan's
is back up
madness.
against the wall.
I'm going to prove to these
They were able to
motherfuckers
get the ball to the running
that
back
I am
in
a
space,
champion.
but that space
I just needed
evaporated.
Great job
my
by the defense,
players.
man. It's tough to
I
keep
needed
those guys
the
out of
players
bounds.
that could,
And the quarterback is knocked down.
what's
Back
the
to
word,
13.
that could
A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to
take
get
the
more
limelight
points
off
on
of
the
me.
board before the half.
Because remember, he needed a diversion. That's the word. Take the limelight off of me. Because remember, Paxton hit threes to win the game. Steve Kerr hit threes to win championships. Because Jordan was saying, I'm going to make you think I don't trust you. But in your shining moment, I'm going to give you the chance to win this game.
Back to throw, it's Milroe.
And if you fuck it up, guess who they're going to blame? You,
Picked off.
not me.
He'll try to take it
It's the
back.
same thing LeBron
He's
did.
at the 50.
He passed it to his teammates, and a lot of people think he's selfish. No, he's building confidence in them players. Remember that motherfucker used to kick that shit out to Chalmers. He used to kick that shit out to this person. But when he got Ray Allen on his team, that motherfucker say, I'm confident that this motherfucker is going to hit whatever shot that I give him. But that's what it is, man. It's life, man. You have to have confidence in your team. If you don't have confidence in your team, then you lost already. But a motherfucker that really don't know shit will say, well, Jordan failed for the first couple of seasons of his career. But even in the documentary, he said, I was on a team full of fucking supplement abusers. Give me a team of disciplined players. Motherfuckers that want to be in the gym. They daddy told them, go make yourself a man. And I guarantee you we'll win a championship. And
As we'll see a squad from the ACC, the Florida State Seminoles, taking on the 15th ranked team in the land, the Alabama Crimson Tide. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. Alabama about to kick off to get this game underway.
all right, let's get this done.
From inside the 15, here's the return. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. A first down for the
But
offense.
it's definitely a method to my madness, man. I love teaching my kids, man. Love keeping them out of danger because that's what most parents do. But I don't coddle them. But I always told people, like, I ain't gonna never coddle my children. I ain't gonna never sugarcoat shit with them. I ain't saying my parents did that. They ain't gonna say they overly protected me. They didn't protect me at all, but yet they did protect me in their way. But they didn't abuse me either. A lot of people think that shit. I'm like, eh.
You want to make sure to maximize those types of runs, and he gets it out
A lot
to
of people
41.
discount the 90s.
And as an offense,
They said, man, nobody give a fuck about the 90s. Y'all were this, y'all were that, y'all a bunch of crackheads, basically. Like, nah, that's what they want y'all to believe. I said, but we probably some of the most responsible motherfuckers on the planet because we were the generation considered latchkey kids. And if you don't know what a latchkey kid is, I'll explain it as I always do because I always got a dad explain everything. But a latchkey kid was a motherfucker that mommy and daddy had to work and their schedules conflicted, so there was going to be a window of time where you were going to be home by yourself without any adult supervision, and they gave you a key to their house because they trusted that you weren't going to do anything stupid when they weren't away. That's a latchkey kid. However, a lot of us had our keys and we still acted like we didn't have a parent in the house. That's all I'm gonna say. I always act like I had a fucking parent in the house because shit, they told us to honor our parents. And I don't care if motherfucking call me mama's boy, daddy's boy, I don't give a fuck. It kept my ass out of places that I need to be.
The offense comes back out with a new set of downs after
because my parents taught me this thing called common sense. If I didn't teach you that shit, don't do it. End of discussion. They were straight to the point. Next time, I'm gonna whoop your ass. But the first time, it was always talking. If I didn't teach you that shit, don't fucking do it. I don't care who taught you that shit. Just make sure you don't do that shit around me ever again. Next time, I'm gonna jaw your ass. That's what my daddy used to tell me. Look, and I'm like, shit, I ain't trying to get jawed, bro, but I ain't trying to get jawed because I was a big nigga. My daddy was a big motherfucker, bro. Motherfucker was 6'3". As a kid, now, he didn't bully me because he always smiled after. I'm gonna jaw your ass. I knew he wasn't bullying me because he would always explain, bro, I love you, bro. I done been some places that I don't want to see you in, and that's what I'm doing with my kids. I'm not aggressive with them, but when they disrespect me, a different daddy has to show up to let them know what respect is. You're not finna raise your voice at me. You're not finna yell at me, and you damn sure ain't finna raise your voice and yell at your mom, which is my wife, because, bruh, I literally knocked the motherfucker out for putting his hands on my mama when I was a kid. Like, literally. And I don't be saying that shit to glorify myself. I'm just letting motherfuckers know. I'll knock a motherfucker out for disrespecting my mama. What makes you think I'm gonna let you disrespect my fucking wife?
Getting on this block, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good.
But
able to get a couple on the play, he's down at the
it is what it is. Because at the same time, my wife is independent. What she allows is what she allows. A lot of people don't understand. Why you don't say nothing when you see people doing it? That she allowed it. Look, she allowed it. If she want to disrespect herself, why the fuck would I say anything to her? But yet my wife doesn't disrespect herself. She acts accordingly to whatever her daddy taught her. Because remember, she had a daddy in her life. I ain't have to raise her. She was raised when I met her. And that was the beauty of it. That was the beauty of our relationship in the beginning. She was already raised, so I didn't have to raise her. Remember, K. Michelle wrote that damn stupid ass song, "You can't raise a man," and blah, blah, blah. His mama did him this way, blah, blah, blah. Shut up, because trust me, it's a lot of women out there that need to be raised because they disrespected their daddy, but that's because they watched their mama disrespect their daddy. But that's not talked about enough. I got a homie on social media named Victor Vincent. Bruh, when I say he go in on that shit, he go in on that shit. That single mother shit, I don't go in on it because remember, again, I have a single mother and a single father. My perspective is different from his because what he be talking about, I didn't experience with my parents. But I respect and understand his perspective because he's right. And so that's what I be letting him know. I get it. You're speaking from your perspective, and I agree to a certain extent. However, let me tell you my perspective. And he be like, he respects it. You know what I'm saying? He like, man, I get it. Because we've had our discussions, we had our conversations, bro. I get what you're saying, but let me tell you about my single mom. But don't forget, I had a single dad as well. Yes, he married another woman, which is my stepmother. Love her to death. Oh, I'm sorry, love her to life, because I hate saying love people to death, because that means, you know, anyway, I love you to life. We had our ups and downs in the
From
beginning,
inside
but
his own
shit,
15, let's see
once
how
we
far
all
he
had
can
a
get.
common
Good running way
disease,
to create that
we
broken
healed.
field as he stopped at the 25.
I can't say what the disease is because it'll piss somebody off. But we were dealing with a fucking narcissist. We were dealing with a fucking narcissist. It's all good though. It was an undercover thing, but like I say, I didn't worry about it because I knew he was trying to get better. He was trying to get better. That's why I don't judge him.
Second down here, and maybe they've got time to get one more snap off.
Because truth be
before the
told,
2-minute warning.
everybody's a
The clock
narcissist.
has reached the 2-minute mark,
Because
and
you're
they have a
always
chance
going
to
to
at
see from
least
your
cut into this
perspective
lead
until
before the
somebody
break.
else can, I guess, I ain't gonna say blind you, but give
Line
a
getting set
different
on second
perspective,
down.
meaning open a different window, open a different tab in your mind, a
He's
different
looking to
browser,
throw.
and you're like, you know what?
Unloads
That makes
it left.
sense.
Fires and
Because
picked
again,
off.
like, hey,
And they'll drag him down after
I've
a
been
good
told
return
so
on
many
the
times I don't know
interception.
what the fuck
And
black
the
is, and
senior
I'm like,
just snatched the
damn,
ball out of the air
how
and
the
gave
fuck
it
don't
back
I
to
know
his
the black
offense.
experience and I've been black
What
for
a
45 fucking
game-changing
years.
play by this
Yeah,
defense.
but did you
Nice
say
job.
you
You
lived
got
in the
them backed
suburbs?
up in
Yeah, I
their own
did say I
territory
lived in the
coming out.
suburbs, but I
Now
said
you
my
force the
origin
turnover,
was the
set
country,
your offense
meaning
up with
the
some
sticks,
great scoring
but
field
also the
position.
projects, but also the condominiums. But it's a mixture because, again, single mother, single father that never married each other. When my mom couldn't teach me how to be a man, she sent me to my fucking father.
Guys,
Just
here
like
comes that
Furious
Florida State
Styles
offense
on,
back
oh no,
onto
I'm
the
sorry, not
field.
Furious Styles, just like
You
the
want to
mom
talk about a
sent
drive
Trey
where you
to
impose
Furious
your
Styles
will. That's what they did, running
on
it
a
down
movie
for a touchdown,
called,
David.
There is
say it with me,
nothing more demoralizing.
Boys in the Hood.
Touchdown, no! And they made it to
The
the
mother
house, but they
said to
found
her,
it
said
6
to Trey
points
in the car,
waiting
I
on him.
can't teach you how to be a man, Trey. That's why I'm
This
bringing you
guy
to
is
your father.
officially a
And then
problem.
Furious
The
took over
second
from there
receiving
and started
touchdown of the
teaching
game.
him, took him
Nice
through the
job by the
hood. Hey,
offense,
look
too.
at this, look
If
at
I've
this,
got
look
a
what's going
matchup
on in
I
this hood.
like,
Let's start buying up
continue
this
to pick
property.
at
We're
it
gonna clean this
until they
hood up.
stop.
We're gonna clean it up ourselves. I got
And
my
the extra
sons with
point
me now.
pushes the lead to 14.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
Now I know
exactly
you
what
ready
you
to
want
come
to
help
do when you
daddy
have that type
implement
of
his
field
plan and
position.
build our
Strike
kingdom.
quickly, and they did. One play, and they put it on the board.
But a lot of people don't
Almost
understand
ready
legacy
to
talk.
kick it away
They don't
after
understand
scoring the
legacy talk when you
touchdown.
start talking it. When you have sons,
From inside the 15, here comes
you
the
want them
return.
to be like you, but
Able
you
to
don't
find
want them
enough
to be
room
like
to
you,
get
if
it
you
out
know
of
what I
first
mean.
and 25. He's
You
brought
want
down
them
at
to
the
be
7.
like the revised version of you, not the outdated version of you.
Running out of time
Because
here in
we're
the first half, and
humanoids.
they do have
You
a
have
chance
to
make this a
upgrade
one-possession
every
game.
year.
And so
Remember,
you
your
gotta
phone
locate
updates
your
damn near
best
every day
players
now,
and get
especially
them
if
the
you got an
football on
Android.
this drive. You're down in
Every
the
time
game.
you turn
Obviously, a
around,
lot
the
of
fucking
football
thing is
happening,
updated.
but on this
You
drive,
as a
in this
human have to do
two-minute
the same
situation,
thing. If
the
you're
best
doing the
players gotta
same
be
shit you did
And this
yesterday
could
and
get
it's a
into
mistake,
pressing mode, right? Like you go
that
into the
means you
half
wanted
down
to
a
make that
couple of
mistake
scores and starts
yesterday.
to
So you're
the
taking that
pressure
mistake
really
into
really
today.
mounts. Good opportunity
Why
to
would you
take some
take
of
a
that
mistake
pressure
from
off,
yesterday
get
into
some
today and
momentum,
claim you want to be a
energize
better
this
man,
squad going into
better
halftime.
woman, better human,
Alabama
better
quickly
person?
back to the line.
But yet you continue to make the same fucking mistake over
He's
and over
gonna
again.
pass.
And in psychology,
Throw
they
his
say making the
hands, and
same
it's
mistake
the way
over
he
and over and
normally
over
makes
is
that catch every
insanity.
time.
Why
It's
are you
second
driving
down.
yourself insane, making the same mistake over and over and over, but then blaming the world for your mistake? It's the world's fault. It's your fault. You said this. You said that. No, you have a disease where you're emotional. You deal off emotions. You respond off emotions instead of the situation at hand. Case in point, a lot of people can't accept constructive criticism when it comes to them, yet they will judge others. They'll criticize others. Why would you criticize others knowing you don't want to be criticized? Again, make it make sense. Explain it to me like a fucking 8-year-old, because I had to explain that to an 8-year-old and they got it immediately. Oh, so what you're saying is, if I tell somebody to shut up and they tell me to shut up, and if we both shut up, then it'll be peaceful. Exactly. Because that's what a bully will do. You better shut the fuck up. Now you better shut the fuck up. Oh, what'll happen if I don't shut up? I don't know. You tell me what'll happen if I don't shut up. I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know what you want to do. I'm letting you write the story right now. I'll throw an interception, you son of a bitch. I'm letting you write this story. That's why I answer a question with a question sometimes. But most times it pisses me off when people answer a question with a question. How are you doing? How are you doing? Okay, this is what we're doing today. How are you doing? Why are you worried? Okay, you're right. I won't contact your ass anymore. And then when you alienate them, they're like, oh my God, you left me an alien. When I tried to talk to your goof ass, you didn't want to fucking talk, so fuck you. That's just me though. That's just me, because that's how people do me. And that motherfucker, when I try to talk to you, you didn't want to talk. You told me, get the fuck on. Like, motherfucker, I was thinking. I was coming up with some shit. I was concocting an evil plan. Thank you, sir.
And it's picked off for the third time today.
And that's the
I
advantage
was
right there,
concocting
having
an
a dime
evil
personnel on
plan
the field. You
to
got an
take
extra
over the
DB,
world
you
with
got an
Pinky
extra
in
guy
the
out there
brain.
who's really good at
Fuck
covering.
out of
So
here,
for
man. That
quarterbacks,
shit be
you've got to
sounding
be
dumb
so
as hell.
good and precise with these passes because they've got
Donald
speed
Trump said
in the
he's
back
going
end. They're able
to
come away with the
go
pick.
after all of the woke generals. What the fuck is a woke general?
And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as
What
well
the
hang on
fuck
to the
is a
ball.
woke general? That's basically him saying, if you sound like Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, we're coming after you. We don't care what color. It's those motherfucking niggers. I mean,
Dropping back, it's Glenn.
now that's an insurrection that they don't want to see when everybody comes
Really
together.
good surge for this
When
offense. They
when
move the
the
chains, and he's
entire
got it at
society
34.
comes together and work
Man, how about the first half
together
this guy's having? He already
to
has 2
eradicate
touchdowns, picks up a
racism
huge
and all
first down
kind of,
right here.
that's the
On
day that they're
defense,
gonna
you're
hate.
going to have to find a way to control this guy.
Because
You're gonna have
that's
to
when
make some
everybody's
big-time
gonna say,
adjustments
we
at
thought
halftime.
y'all said
Just inside
get
the
over it.
35, first and 10 from the 34.
How the fuck can they get over it
From the gun.
when you
Give on
continue
the
to
inside.
display racism?
One
And
step
guess
wrap,
what?
2 step
That's the
squeeze.
beauty
This junior
of
knows how to get
the
it on the
first
ground.
Trump administration. Because when he won the first time, they were sore winners. It was like, ah, ha, ha. Now we have our savior in office, and he's going to eradicate, or he's going to eliminate, I'm sorry, he's going to
Will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half.
wipe clean everything that nigger president put into office. But a lot of that shit was benefiting some of them goofy motherfuckers. Like the Affordable Care Act.
All of the assignments as they put a stop
That shit actually benefited a lot of the Trumpers. And then they started to see the light.
the time.
They were like, oh shit, we fucked up. Like, yeah, well,
They'd like to generate some confidence
that's
here
what
for
happens
the
when you're
interim.
brainwashed. The motherfucker can tell you anything they want. And as long as they sound like somebody that you love, like an old grandpa.
They've now got an idea of what
Because remember, the youth used to say, okay, boomer, whatever. But isn't Trump
Well, and it's
a
nice to
boomer?
get the ball
He
first.
sure the
Like,
fuck
I got the
is,
first
because he was
opportunity
born
to
during
close
that
the gap
time.
a little bit. Nice and great.
He sounds like a lot of people's grandpa, and everybody loves their grandpa, right? So when the grandpa say, fuck all niggers, you're like, yes, right, grandpa, fuck them niggers.
The defense sets up this offensive
That's
line
what Trump
and
was saying, but in a
right at the line of scrimmage.
delicate
He
way.
didn't get it.
But notice,
On fourth down, they'll
everybody
throw for it.
calls themselves niggers
Pass
now.
the sticks. Still on his feet at the 45.
Everybody want to be a nigga
And
now.
he's running in the open.
Everybody want to be a nigga now.
Just before
And that's
he can
exactly
get
who
it
they're
over the end zone,
targeting.
and now they're set up first and goal.
You want to be a nigga? You want to act like a nigga? Guess what? We have a task force for you.
Back to
But we're
throw,
not going to
it's
take you
Milroe.
lightly. We're not going to take you lightly because
Moves
you're
away
a
as he
threat.
feels pressure.
Because
Finished
a
off
nigga will do
in the
anything
zone.
to prove they're a nigga.
Crimson Tide.
Because they want to be part of that
Rally
gang gang.
can really change everything for a team.
The shit sounds
No doubt,
stupid as
first
fuck.
half looked bad. It looked like it was bleak. It looked like it was
To each their
They're
own,
starting to
though.
get
I
it
don't
turned
knock it.
around. More
If
drives
that's
like
what you
this
have to
is
do,
what's
do
needed.
it. But why would you be part of a gang that's hurting people when your job is to help
And with
people?
the
That's all I'm
extra
saying.
point, every little bit counts as
Because
they get
remember,
closer.
most gangs started
Very
to
efficient
protect their
five-way
neighborhood. Most
scoring
posses
drive.
started to
And he got
protect a
into the
certain
house in the
region.
sixth to
Most
finish it. About to kick it away after scoring
fraternities started to come together
And that is not the optimal
in
solution there.
brotherhood
The kickoff out of bounds, and the offense
to
will have a little
protect
bit easier time of things.
and serve.
On first down, here comes this offense.
But now they protect a secret and only serve their own
Gonna
interests.
run it. It's Tuafili. And the defense
It's sad
knows him under
because
after a very short
those same
game.
people will say,
And it's just
we
simple.
want
Simple
peace,
first down run,
we
showing
want
your
peace,
physicality,
we want
setting the
love,
offense up in a good spot.
but yet they don't
After the
display
3-yard
peace and
pickup, they
love.
come to the line, 2nd and 7.
So again,
They'll run play action.
they contradict themselves every time they talk,
Oh, the freshman
but
lucky
it's
that
it's
one
not
didn't
their
get
fault.
picked off.
That's what they've
Not sure
been
exactly
brainwashed
what
to do.
went haywire there, but the
You're
timing
going
was
to
just
contradict
off.
yourself
And that's your job
when
as
you
a
can't
defense,
make
right?
it
You
make
gotta
sense.
find a way to disrupt the timing and jam wide
Somebody will tell
receivers
you,
and
do
get to the
this.
quarterback and make him
Why?
feel uncomfortable, but you can't
'Cause I
let
said
that
so.
timing be easy and effortless. Nice job.
They won't explain why they want
And
you to
that
do
one's
it.
incomplete.
Oh, just
They were
because I
trying
said
to
so.
move the
Or they'll
chains. They were
bully you
trying to move the scoreboard
because you
instead. It's fourth
took
down.
a certain oath
And the Seminoles will try to pin them back with the punt.
behind the
Finally
scenes.
sending out a punter in this
The
one. Gotta
oath you
make sure
took
they
in
earn
front
their
of
runner.
everybody, that's
And
bullshit.
the return will be
That's
dragged down.
bullshit. That's for the general public to see.
Here comes
But there's
that
an oath
Alabama offense.
behind the scenes
That
that we're
last
gonna take.
touchdown drive was surgical through the air.
Don't
Jesse.
turn your back
Sure
on
was,
me.
and that's why this offense
You
is so
protect me
dangerous,
and
David,
serve
because they
me
can score in a hurry
while I
because of how
train you.
efficient they are throwing the football.
And welcome to modern college football. That's where
Remember
this
Training Day
stretch route,
illustrated that
find my
shit
playmakers,
perfectly.
make quick decisions,
Training
and
Day
really put
illustrated that shit
defenses in a
perfectly.
difficult situation.
Looking
But Jake was a
downfield,
good
it's
cop.
Will
He was a
Rowe.
good soldier.
Looking to the big tight end. And
He
it
was
is
a good
another
soldier.
interception.
He
Just
had
a
integrity.
terrible struggle for
A
this
lot of cops
quarterback.
still have integrity. A lot of politicians
after a
still
good
have
return on the
integrity.
interception.
That's
But
number
for the
two.
most
That's a
part,
good year for a
society
lot of
is a
people. What
fucking
day.
cesspool,
Having
bro.
2 interceptions already.
Everybody
I might
pushing
try my
envelopes to
hand
somebody.
on the other guy. This guy is not somebody I want to mess with.
Everybody's pushing an envelope to
Guys,
somebody.
this
We need
offense
this
coming
person
back out onto
silenced.
the
We
field.
need that person silenced. But then they thought about it. Hey, we can't do that, bro. Why? Remember that act that all of the humans on this planet signed to protect themselves against this very action?
That's a really
We're
good job
being
by the
recorded for
defense,
quality
wrapping
and
them up,
training
getting them on the
purposes.
ground,
Oh, just turn your
taking that
camera
pocket,
off.
make them one-dimensional
Nobody will
in
care.
passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
But if you turn your camera off, that means you're
On
being
second down, looking
dishonest.
again to throw. Fires a bullet.
Can't
Now it's
protect
picked
and
off.
serve anybody being
Going the
fucking
other way,
dishonest.
he's got room. The 20, the
Because
10,
then you're only protecting
and
and
he's
serving
gonna
your
take
own
it
interests. You're
all the way.
protecting the secret and serving your own interests, and that's not the code.
This
But
time it's
the
the
code's so
defense
fucked up in
finding
the
ways to
streets,
put
don't
points on
nobody
the
know
board.
what the fuck's
There is
going on
nothing
anymore.
better than being a defender, seeing that ball in the end zone. Your
Don't
eyes
nobody
get
know
big as
who to trust,
saucers.
'cause it
Go,
used to be
jump
a-
on that puppy, secure it, get you
A
a
mutual
touchdown.
trust.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic.
Now you can't trust the motherfucker. You can't trust your own
And the
family
extra
members
point was
anymore.
made without incident, and we're tied up here in the third.
Because somebody will
After that,
Extort
Lakers
them.
tied things up, just about set to kick it away again.
just to get to you.
Let's see what he can get done
But
from inside
boy,
his own 15. And the returner will be knocked
This
down.
shit about to spill over, and I hate to see it, bro, because there's gonna be so much fucking bullshit going on in society right now.
Guys, here comes that
But
Florida State
it's
offense
the
back
it's
onto
called
field.
the natural
That
order of
last
selection
pick
for a
six
reason.
After a drive like that, David can swing
So
the
I'm
momentum
glad
of
a
the
lot
game.
of laws were signed into office. Oh, I'm sorry, signed into action because it was needed. Because these undisciplined
Yeah, they have
motherfuckers,
to recapture some momentum here. What
they
can't
fucking
do
it up for
is go
everybody
3
else.
and out and give the ball right back.
they breaking code and don't realize it because
32.
there's
It's first
nobody to
down.
teach them. But when certain organizations
He wants to
are
throw.
weaponized against certain
He had him
entities,
right down the
that's what's
middle,
gonna
and
happen.
it just squirted
They
right
weaponize
through his
everybody
fingers,
against
and
fathers
missed an
because
opportunity
they
for a
wanted
nice
the
play
children
on first
unruly
down.
so that they can send them to the island of
Got a good
misfits.
one going here. All tied up in the
individuals.
third and 2nd and 10.
That's how they feed their
The
beast.
give to the tailback.
That's how they feed
Pushes
their
ahead
well.
for a
We're
couple.
all
They'll
joined
work
in
it
the
at the
well.
33.
because eventually we all end up behind bars. Some get a common courtesy and get released, get a slap on the wrist, get it swept under the rug.
To the air, it's Glenn trying to get to it. And
I don't
the
know.
heat was all over him, and that's the way the third quarter will wrap up with
But
a
if they
big
got a
sack.
buddy in internal affairs, of course it's going to get swept under the rug. Or rolled up in a rug. Just like Kendrick Johnson and Valdosta. Them motherfuckers literally
A tie
said
game here late,
in
and
front
they
of
do
everybody
not want to
in
give up
America
this football. They'll
that
go
they
for it on fourth
believe
down.
a child cut their own organs out of their body and then
He'll
trip
try
on
to
a
throw and
fucking
pick up the
rug
first down.
in a
That one
gym
comes out hot down the right side. Can't
and
find his
died.
man. It'll be incomplete, and that
Where in
is
the
a
fuck does that
heartbreaker
make
to
sense
end the
on
game.
any part of
Here's
this
a
goddamn
big
planet?
drive for this defense who will try
But
to
a
get
fucking
stop with
judge
just a few minutes left.
agreed because the videotape.
He wastes no time and comes out throwing.
Like, literally, listen to the story. A fucking
They'll
child
pick up 4, second and
cut
6.
their organs out of their body and then proceeded to roll themselves up into a goddamn carpet and
On
died.
second down, wants to throw.
And if you don't know the story,
Using his feet to
there's
buy
this
time.
thing called Google.
And the quarterback
Look at the
was trying
fuck
to
up.
extend the play, and the defense
But
brought
everybody's
it
a
to
Christian.
close.
Everybody loves
They've got
God.
ways to go
But these
on third
motherfuckers
down
covered
from
up
the
a
24 as this
fucking
defense
murder.
tries to force him into a field
And the
goal try.
world, most of the world agreed, especially if they were racist and Trumpers. The motherfuckers agreed. Yeah, that nigger did that nigger did that to himself. But how the fuck did you cut your own organs out and then have enough strength to just roll yourself into a carpet underneath some bleachers and die? You gotta be a strong motherfucker, but that's what they've been
When you're set up with that field position,
indoctrinating people with for years. Black people are the strongest people on earth. Look, they picked cotton in the sun. They took whiplashes. The motherfuckers are strong. So we believe that some bitch did that shit because that's what that boy said right there. That boy right there, the one that they tried to persecute.
The extra point is good, and now in the fourth
He told us that boy did that on his own.
extra point. Quick work on that scoring drive. Just
You gotta
one
love
play.
the great state of Georgia.
And close the deal with a
My
3-yard touchdown
birthplace.
run.
Fucking bullshit. That's why I had to get my motherfucking ass out of Georgia, bro.
From
'Cause
inside his own 15, trying to follow
I'd
his
be in
blocker.
prison right now.
Couldn't find a way to create that
Because they'll
perfect field as he
antagonize you, and
stopped
then
at the
when
25.
you retaliate, they'll try to use
First down
their
here with
privilege.
time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning.
But again, I love these new laws that they signed in place because now they're all being monitored for quality and training purposes.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the
Because
receiver.
some motherfuckers will look
Now
their
on
lieutenant
second
or
down
captain or
after the
whatever in the
incompletion.
eye and tell a bold face lie. That motherfucker right there became aggressive and I had to put him down. No, you probably became aggressive before they did.
He's brought down solid pickup, but a little bit short of the first down.
And that's why I ask every cop that I ever fucking encounter, oh, hey, how you doing? Are you here to put a bullet in the back of my head?
His team
Because,
is
you
in
know,
position to win this game, and they need him
you're
to
going
make
to try
plays
to
now in a 2-minute
antagonize me. I fit
situation.
the description
To
of
pull
this
one
person,
out,
that
he's got the
person.
talent to do it.
Do you live
Let's
in this
find out what he
neighborhood,
does.
boy?
They'll throw
I'm a
on
grown
third and
ass
short.
man, but yeah, I live in this
Fires to the
neighborhood,
wideout.
sir.
And they can't make the connection on third down.
Well, this defense has had the QB's number all game
It should
long.
be
One of the
funny to
reasons
me,
why is
man.
because this
This-
cornerback,
this-
he's on an island.
motherfuckers
He's winning
are so
50-50
toxic
balls, and he's not letting
and
anything get thrown over his head. Downfield.
They don't
Great job in
understand if
coverage,
you want
disguising
peace
what he's
on
doing
this
and
fucking
knocking
planet
balls
and goodwill towards men, do you have to offer that shit? And this motherfucker dropped my fucking pad.
Down, and man, did
That was
they
the play.
need to keep that drive alive.
If you want peace, you first have to offer it. That's why I like the cops that come and de-escalate the situation. You can tell they're well trained because they came from an academy that taught them the hand gestures. They put their strike plate up.
And he
Sir, I
can't
come in
get it
peace.
off. Taken down.
What seems to
a
be the problem?
huge play this late in
And
the
then I
game.
talk to them just as calm, like men. Look them in their eyes. We talk. We have a
On
discussion.
second down, they'll take to the air.
Sometimes their partner will come up and they'll be aggressive, and I'll be like, "Hey, get your mans
They
over
bring
there."
him down, but a solid
make him
pickup to
temper
put them
down
in
his
position to
anger
pick up a
because
first down. Alabama
I
quickly
think
back
he
to the
wants to
line.
shoot me. He wants me to fly off the handle
Third
so
down
he can
play
be
from the gun.
one less nigger, you know? One less
Caught near
nigger.
the sticks.
Well, that's
It's
what they say.
Bernard.
Like when
They
Ahmaud
make the
Arbery was
stop, but not
killed
before
while
they
running
do their
through
work
Brunswick,
up
Georgia.
top
And
and
guess
pick up
what?
a first
Yes,
down.
I used to live in
Alabama
Brunswick,
has the
Georgia.
clock on his side trying to finish the game.
The area was called Beverly
They march
Shores.
to the red zone, and here they go. He's got his man.
Beverly Shores
He'll be
used to be
stopped
peaceful.
just short of the end zone, but they'll have it first and goal.
And I could tell you
And
on a
chance
first-hand
perhaps
account,
to salt this game away if this
Beverly
offense
Shores
can
used to be
pay this
peaceful.
off with a late touchdown. Touchdown, Alabama!
And then, I don't know,
And
once
they
I
add
left
6
Brunswick,
more
it
to the
just
board with that
became
trip to the house.
wicked.
That is exactly what you want your offense to do. You want it to eat clock, but if you score,
So yeah,
blow
I've
up by
stayed
2
in every
possessions,
fucking area
nail beating
where
Coffin, great
these
execution by
atrocities
this
happen.
offense to
Because
put this
remember,
game away.
Valdosta is only a couple of
No
minutes
backs with
away
the quarterback as
from
they line
Tifton,
up for
Georgia,
the
and I
two.
went to school at Tift County High.
Scanning the field, it's Milrow.
So yes, that's why these, even though I live in a certain area, these fucking stories are important to me because once upon a time, those people were me. Once upon a time, I was running through Beverly Shores, but not away from a cop. I was training because I used to walk from where I lived all the way to Beverly Shores to see my friends, and then I would walk to the mall, and I would go to the arcade, and I would just chill out. If my friends didn't want to come with me, cool.
Have it back, they'll try to get that offensive spear flaming. What a turn that
Same
last
thing
drive
in every
was.
city I
Didn't
stay
pick
in.
up the fourth down, and it led to the scoring drive.
I'm
David.
always
And those are
walking to
frustrating
see my
because
friends.
you think you might get points and then your defense gives up points. This has got to be a complementary football type deal. The offense now needs to provide a little spark and give this defense some hope.
Except for South Carolina, I used to. That's when I had cars, but I was an adult by then.
And put a good drive together.
Catch in the middle. It's Douglas. Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on first
But yeah, that
down.
should hurt me to see.
Here's this offense
Oh,
with a
and
fresh set of downs.
the area that I live
Going
in,
up top on first down.
there's a story about a cop named Amanda Geiger, or whatever the fuck her name is, that got away with murder.
And this is always an
Of
interesting
both them
spot for me
John.
now because you're gonna have to
Like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, you can tell that it's this southern region. Hunting black people is a everyday fucking thing. But that's a lie. I'm 45. I can attest. They don't hunt black people. They only hunt niggers. I'm like, the fuck? What the fuck? So when other people call themselves the N-word, I'll be laughing at them like, you want to be a nigga so bad. But what I'm here to tell you is that's getting you closer to death than you can imagine. But I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to let life teach you that lesson. Because Goody Mob said it best. You ain't a nigga because you black. You a nigga because of how you act. Because remember, a lot of hoods, Caucasians would come over there and they would destroy the property and then go back to the suburbs. But they blamed the property value going down on the residents of that area. But when we would say, nah, your son did that, again, they had the privilege because their daddy was a lawyer or a cop or something that was disciplined, but they weren't home to discipline their children. So a lot of their children became unruly unless their mother was also disciplined.
To the air on first down.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot that goes on in society. We all see it. And that's the ones that they hate. They hate the woke, the quote-unquote woke people that never fell asleep and see the game for what it really is. They hate us. They can't stand us. They can't stand a motherfucker like me that just sat there and said all that shit right there. They'll probably ban this stream. I don't care. Somebody heard it.
They've got to move quickly here. Still a chance, but
Before
they've
you
got to
banned
force
it.
the ball down the field. They'll throw it on first down.
But that's this nation, America with 3 Ks, KKK. Because this motherfucker, this racism is as American as apple pie.
Ball's incomplete, and that's the ball game. You know, there's no real reason to panic if you think really.
Yeah, like I said, man, the only reason why I ain't taking this shit serious is because I already got that, what, three, or I had 2 L's or 3 L's before this game. So, hey, I ain't gonna make the playoffs, so I'm just working on shit that I need to work on. I really need to go deeper into this playbook, but as stated when certain coaching staffs were hired, I said I didn't like their playbook because it was vanilla at the school that they came from, but he had the players to execute it. But that's because they believed that he wanted to be there. So I don't know. Maybe Buddy done lost his locker room, because there is no way you go from an undefeated season to being a 1-win team. That's a horrible turnaround. But the same thing happening in Michigan, I think. But they got more than 1 win, though. But they went for winning the national championship, and right now they look like ass. Nah, that's what everybody say. I don't really watch any more games. This shit getting boring, because you can see the fucking con that's going on. I don't care. They want to dismantle the NIL because they don't want these kids making money off their name, likeness, and image, and it's really not fair. But hey, it's $1 billion industry. They're losing money every single fucking year that the NIL exists. They're losing billions of dollars, and the billions of dollars is going to the players. That's why they're trying to dismantle the transfer portal and make kids stay at one school. They're trying to take away their rights, but remember, they signed that contract for a specific amount of time, so they can't. They can't. Like I said, they've been binding their hands for a long time, because everything they sign into law,
First down here for the offense.
it fucks them over too, because they have to actually live by it, because we the people are watching. Like, how the fuck you signing into law but you not practicing what you preach? And that's what's going on in the government right now. They'll sign all this shit into law, and then they'll be like, I don't have to do it. I'm the authority. Like, who the fuck made you the authority? Remember, we voted your bitch ass in. You're not the authority, the people are. But people, society has lost sight of that.
They got him free for a big gainer to the 43. And the Buckeyes
Society has lost sight of that.
And the offensive line and the quarterback has to do their job on screens.
But that's the design. That's exactly why they had the Willie Lynch papers. But it's for everybody. It was for everybody.
The running back does the rest with the big boys
Again,
creating a path.
a certain society where the government controls everything. It's an author that predicted that shit. His last name is Orwell. He wrote a movie called 1984. Because that's the society we're in right now. We're being viewed everywhere we go. There's cameras all over the fucking place. Everywhere you go, it's a fucking camera. And the government controls those cameras.
Yeah, and there you go. Ohio State bringing the ground game. They typically do that, Reese. That's pretty normal.
They were indoctrinated with that shit.
Program around it. Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. Go back to
Just like they were indoctrinated with the Bible, and they themselves are creating Armageddon to put fear into the American people. But not just the American people, all around the world. All over the world. What's up? Oh, I don't care who you voted for. Look, long as you voted, long as your voice was heard, because it's a lot of, I'll be honest, I didn't vote for Trump, but I'm not going to say that I voted for Kamala Harris either. Because, again, it's multiple parties, but I'm not going to say I went against my best interest either. But there are some things that Trump has in his policy that is going to help society. Because like I said, under a lot of layers, Trump brought the United States together. We just didn't realize it. Because with him standing at the podium saying all kind of racist shit, we started watching the true racists. Like the Trumpers that were fanatics in the beginning and drinking the Kool-Aid, and then they sat back and said, this is not who I am. This ain't what my parents raised me to be. They started watching the ones that say, you know what? Fuck that. I don't care what my parents were. I'm listening to Trump because he's my granddaddy. He started sounding like their granddaddy. Like, that's what my granddaddy be saying. That shit that he's saying. That's what my granddaddy be saying. And that's when America fell in love with him. Because I listened to all his rallies. I listened to it from beginning to end. And everything he's saying, I hear it. But remember, at the end of the campaign, a lot of people were walking out of them rallies and saying the same thing. Hey, man, he's just saying the same thing over and over. He's just saying the same thing over and over. He's just saying, and that's when you knew motherfuckers was being indoctrinated. They was being brainwashed. That's what he's doing at the rallies. Remember this movie called Now You See Me? With Woody Harrelson, the Four Horsemen, or whatever they call themselves. Remember that scene where they put the entire crowd to sleep and then moved them to another location? At first, they had to pump nauseous gas into that system to put them to sleep. A lot of those rallies were held in buildings with air conditioning vents where they can control what was pumped into there. Remember they said in sports, a lot of venues pump noise in there because the crowd isn't as big as it really is. And remember Trump was saying, my numbers are humongous, but people were catching film of people walking out of his rallies. So like I said, I sound like a conspiracy theorist to a lot of people, but if it's documented on film and you can actually watch it in person, how the fuck is it a conspiracy? It's a lot of people that voted for Trump that are now saying, you know what, I feel a certain way now. I feel a certain way. I feel like I made a bad decision. And I'm like, well, that's because you're no longer at his rally. You're no longer being hypnotized. You're no longer drinking the Kool-Aid. And now his agenda it'll come into fruition and you'll see it. You're woke now. But that's why they do the shit. That's why they indoctrinate people, because they don't want you awake. They don't want you to see their smoke and mirrors. They don't want you to see what they're doing. And that's what Orwell was trying to illustrate in that movie. Again, 1984. He wanted you to see this society where your government tells you what to do. So again, I don't care who you voted for, because again, at the end of the day, you get what you vote for. That's all I'm gonna say. You get what you vote for. So if Trump doesn't,
running back searching for a hole.
Yeah.
A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3. The Buckeyes racing to the line in the hurry up.
So you.
Pulls and fires it complete to the right. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
And listen, I'm going to move this guy everywhere. He's in the slot this time.
But see, and I'm glad you said that, because that's true. Remember, a lot of Trump supporters were on social media saying, if Kamala Harris wins, there's going to be a civil war. They literally said it on all social media. And so,
with a new set of downs. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again.
Right.
He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And when you play defensive end, it's all about
getting
off the football. You can tell.
No, they would have, because remember, everything around the globe, they take it from America. Remember, if you go to London, you'll see people with do-rags and all kind of shit, with jewelry, with grills and golds and all that shit. You get what I'm saying? Like every trend that starts in America, it goes global. No matter what trend it is, it goes global. And so if America puts a woman as president, then the rest of the world will, I guess, fall in line. But remember, a lot of the world don't give a fuck what America do. They watch England. They watch Europe. They watch England, right? Because every currency is based on who the highest form of currency right now is the pound, right? Meaning it's European money, it's foreign money. That's the pound is the highest form of money. But there's a reason why it's the highest form of money, because remember, the pilgrims came from where? They came from Europe. But what did the pilgrims come here for? They were escaping something. They hated rules. They hated taxes. But what do we have now in America? We have rules. We have taxes, right? So basically, America is Europe 2.0. But there is someone that sits on the highest throne in the land, because again, if the rest of the world is following what Europe does, and Europe has a black queen sitting on the throne, imagine if Kamala Harris would have won. The world would have lost its fucking mind. Remember, Beyonce wrote a song called Who Run the World? Girls, women would have lost their fucking minds. They would have been so dominant. They already got power over men with their vaginas and all that stuff. And if they have children, they can use the children as leverage. You get what I'm saying? They can take a man to court and take his children away and render him powerless, because most men, their children are the only thing that makes them happy, if that makes sense. Their wives make them happy, but the children are what really truly make them happy. And a lot of those fathers will get their children taken away from them. So imagine if Kamala Harris would have been in the highest office in the land in America, and you also have a woman in power in England. Now you got to make a woman of power in Iran. You got to make a woman of power in Egypt. You got to make a woman of power. You get what I'm saying? Because they follow the trend. And you know, like you said, a lot of those countries, they don't respect women's rights. They rule with an iron fist and say, I'm the man. I set the rules. You get what I'm saying?
And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on. 3rd and 10, still back up inside their own 20. This drive hasn't really gotten started. Back to pass, it's Glenn. He rifles one.
Oh, get out of here. I threw that over his head. I knew you was gonna do that. I knew you was gonna take control of him.
Touchdown, Ohio State. And this defense coming out with
But yeah, but see, that's the thing with indoctrination, because a lot of people think that the pilgrims were just people that wanted to leave and, you know, set up a colony over here. No, the pilgrims were sent as an invasion. The pilgrims were sent to invade this colony, because remember, the first person to get lost in America was Christopher Columbus. That motherfucker wasn't lost. He knew where he was going. Because somebody before him, who was it, Magellan or whoever the fuck, and they told stories. There is a land where people are free of tyranny. People are, they are doing whatever the fuck they want. There are no rules. Well, how do you know that? Because I had to lay over there. Like, okay, think about if you take a Greyhound, you have a layover. If you take a flight, you have a layover. Well, when we were on our ships, I had a layover in this land. And man, we partied like it was 1492. Look, we partied all fucking night. There wasn't no rules. We had alcohol. There was no prohibition. We had marijuana. Nobody was calling it the devil's lettuce. So what do you think they're going to do? Like, shit, that sounds like some shit I want to do. I want to be there. So after Magellan, it came another explorer. And after that explorer, another explorer. And after that explorer, another explorer. But they couldn't get them to budge from their customs. Because remember, they brought Christianity. Yeah.
The Buckeyes will line up to kick off and start the second half. From
Yep.
inside the 15, here comes the return.
But you,
Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25.
nah, don't put that shit on BLM. BLM Black Lives Matter has been irrelevant ever since they got a check. That's all I'm gonna say.
As we start the third quarter, and we'll see what type of adjustments.
No, I know what
are
you're
made
saying.
at halftime.
And getting the ball first here, I think, is such a big deal. Like, I get the first chance to make a statement, to make the adjustments, to create some momentum for my squad right here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think it's so important.
Well, it's not just cops. The world doesn't give a fuck about black people
To get a nice drive going,
because
build that confidence,
of what they
get your
did to black
defense
people.
ready to
But
come on out
that's
and get a
another
stop.
that's another story. Everybody know what they did to black people, and they want us to get over it. They want us to forget what happened to our ancestors. But what we're saying is, you want us to get over it. Guess what? Give us a check like you gave everybody else. You gave every other immigrant group that you enslaved a check. But our ancestors never got a check. Now our children are saying, where the fuck is our check? And they're saying, oh, look at them. They're disgruntled again. Here these niggas go looking for a free check. But you gave everybody else a fucking free check for their troubles. You gave the Jews a check for the Holocaust. You gave the Japanese Americans a check for what they endured building this country with us. Because remember, they brought gunpowder. That's how they started chiseling out mountains so that trains can move product through. Get what I'm saying? So when people say everybody was enslaved, they're correct, but everybody else has gotten a check for their children being enslaved. The only continent that hasn't gotten a check is Africa. Yet all of us are saying we've been in America so long and we know that the deficit is so large and these motherfuckers are so broke, they could never cut us a check for what we built. Yet they tell us to go back. Now they tell us to go back to Africa after we built the fucking country. You get what I'm saying? And no one's disgruntled. We're saying, well, you go back to Europe. Go back to where your immigrants came from. Because everybody in here, in this country right now, is a descendant of an immigrant. But a lot of people are so blind that they don't realize that. They are asleep. And that's why they're against woke. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We're all an immigrant. Whether you were born here naturally or not. I was born in 1979 in Georgia. Yet I know that with my bloodline, if they take my blood, it's going to trace back to a certain continent. And it's not going to be the United States of America. Just like a Latino American. No matter what you become, if you can, like Sammy Sosa, he took his skin and did whatever the fuck he did to it. And no matter what, when they take his blood, guess what? When they do his DNA test, where is it going to lead? It's going to lead back to Latin America. He's a Latin American no matter what he does to himself. There are Japanese that come over here and they assimilate to American culture. There are Chinese that come here and assimilate to American culture. Every immigrant comes and assimilates to American culture because that's what they're forced to do. But yet they didn't want to stay in their own land to be who they truly are. They didn't want to stay in their own land because they felt like somebody was forcing them to be something. It makes sense to who it makes sense to. Now people are leaving their country. Again, the Pilgrims left their country and then they assimilated, but yet they didn't assimilate because remember the Native Americans were here. They didn't assimilate the Native American culture. What they did is they forced their religion on Native Americans. They forced their diseases and their sicknesses on the Native Americans. And that's the part that a lot of people are leaving out. And even the Native Americans have been compensated for their shit. Again, the only race that hasn't been compensated for their troubles and their help of building America are the African Americans. And remember, they took our children on slave ships and they raped them, molested them the whole trip over. Until the point that when they got here, they were fucking over-sexualized And then they told us we were over-sexualized. Well, the reason why we're over-sexualized is because your slave owners were raping children that didn't know any better. Because they didn't take adults. They stole children. Everybody know that shit. But that's the reason why missing and exploited children is still happening to this day. Because kidnapping children is as American as apple pie. What the fuck? Like, I don't understand why nobody understands this shit. I don't understand why nobody, like, why is everybody so asleep that they didn't pay attention enough in history to start connecting the dots? But that's because the history that they teach in school is so fucking whitewashed because the slavers wrote the story. They wrote the story of what America is. They said we were good slave masters. These niggers were the ones who rebelled against us. They're the ones who revolted against us.
First down to start the drive after the break. They want to just keep throwing it. And that is interception number 3 on the day.
Heat up them pass rushers, bring in them DBs. That's what I'm doing in this situation. When I got the lead by a couple scores,
exactly. Slavery.
In the fourth quarter, I'm going to rush the passer like crazy. I'm going to put all those DBs back playing the pass. That's what happened. Great job understanding they're going to have to take shots. We get the interception. This one's almost over.
Yeah, and then when they freed the slaves, the slave owners got a check for compensation, meaning the government said, since we signed into law the Emancipation Proclamation, and we know this is going to hurt your agriculture, which at the time was anything that they can pick, being cotton, fruit, or whatever. They said, because you're going to lose out on your production, we're going to cut you a check for every slave you've had to free. So again, everybody got a check except for the people that did the actual fucking work. And it's not just black slaves. It was Latinos. It was everybody. But again, I posted on social media. I posted a lot of times of the list of every ethnic group that received reparations. And you'll never see African Americans on that group. It's still at 0. But you want to know what the government will say? We give you government assistance. We give you food stamps. We give you this. We give you that. Like, no, the fuck you don't. You work the shit out of us in the workforce.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and leading.
And anybody that thinks Trump is going to cut them a check for reparations is a damn fool. That man don't give a fuck about immigrants. He don't give a fuck about slavery. He don't give a fuck about none of that shit. But again, I respect the fact that you voted. And I don't hate you for voting for Trump. All I'm saying is, when I hear you, but at the same time, when you do vote, say if you would have voted for Trump, I don't care. All I'm saying is, when he doesn't make good on any of his promises, don't fault anybody but yourself, because remember, you got what you voted for. That's all I be telling people. And that's all everybody that votes says. We don't care who you voted for. What we're saying is, when the shit hits the fan and everything he said he was going to do doesn't happen, don't be pissed off at us, because remember, that already happened. Remember the insurrection? Remember January 6th? That was the Trumpers that you said, if we come in here and we act up, you're going to pay our legal fees. He didn't, but yet now that he's president again, he already said, I'm going to free everybody that hurt somebody on January 6th in that riot. Why would you free people that hurt their fellow human or fellow Americans? They hurt cops, but yet they said they backed the blue. You get what I'm saying? We backed the blue, but it was cops at that Capitol when they stormed it that got hurt and killed because they stormed the Capitol. We would have died on the spot if black people or anybody that's ethnic would have showed up at that Capitol and killed a cop or killed a security guard or killed a Secret Service member. They wouldn't have made it out of the White House. Not in cuffs. Because it was black people that were trying to get into the White House And you want to know what they did? They detained them. They arrested them before they can get to the fucking door. But everybody that said they were with Trump and they looked a certain way, they let them storm right on into the castle. But again, if you've been awake, you saw it yourself. So again, the United States government signed everything into law that's catching them. You know how these politicians are getting hot mic'd and saying, these niggers this, these niggers that, and then they're saying it behind closed doors, but then when they get in the podium, it's we're working for the African Americans. We love the African Americans. We're here to help the African Americans. But then you hear that hot mic where they saying, fuck them niggas. Fuck them niggas. And that's exactly what they doing. They fucking niggas.
They already have a comfortable lead up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on.
But like I said, man, look, it is what it is. Everybody get what they voted for. This is what they voted for. That's bullshit. Good shit. Everybody's gonna get what they voted for. And again, if he doesn't make good on his promises, me personally, I call it out. That's what I do on my social media. Hey, remember Trump said, Master Trump said he was going to give us this. Master Trump said that he was going to focus on mental health. Master Trump said he was going to make sure that ethnic people are protected. Master Trump said he doesn't want racism. Master Trump said he's bringing America together. Now let's see if he's going to bring America together. And if he don't, who are we going to blame? We're going to blame Master Trump, right? Because that was his promise, right? Exactly.
From inside the 15, chance for a good
but
return.
The Trump worshipers, they don't see nothing wrong that he's doing. But like I said, it's a lot of people that didn't go to rallies this year. They still supported Trump, but they didn't go to the rallies. What they did is they did their research. What is his agenda this time? Let's see what he's fighting for. And that's why they voted for him. They actually did their research this time.
Right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from.
Right.
You try to grow from.
That's why a lot of people voted for him, because that's pandering. That's the reason why he did it. I'm going to give you this stimulus check to help you out of your economic situation. Remember when what was his name? When Obama signed those stimulus checks and everybody loved him. But then when that money ran out, they were like, where the rest of our money at? Where our check at? Where my check at? GG.
They didn't get the W. They didn't do enough. But now you start to think about, what could I have done differently? What do I need to become more offensively? Defensively, what can I morph into to make those extra plays, Jesse? That might be the difference in the next.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, man, because they will censor the shit out of you. It's all good, though. It is what it is. Ooh, did you just hack my goddamn camera? Because it just went dark in here. Is the dark web watching? Oh boy. Fucking overthinkers are so annoying.
Guinness World Records, one for the middle of the night.
People think you eat too much. If you lose weight, people think you're sick. If you dress well, you show off. If you dress simple, you're poor. If
Mm. 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 Alright, nah, I ain't gonna play no more. Shit. Boring. I'll just play it. Just shut up and play. 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 God damn it, I'm tired of your fucking voice, John. Shut the fuck up. Hey.
Austin, Texas, home to technological and cultural advances, but for everything going on in this city, the hub is bathed in burnt orange, and it is DKR and the Texas Longhorns. We have a ranked versus unranked battle coming up here. You know how chaos can ensue if they start smelling an upset. As we'll see a squad from the ACC, the Florida State Seminoles, taking on the 6th-ranked team in the land, the Texas Longhorns. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. The Longhorns will kick it off to get us underway. He'll bring it out. It's Lucas. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. The offense lining up for a first down play. On the ground, it's Tuafili. Danced his way through traffic. Pick up for 4 to the 19.
Nice run there on first down. You know this is a running back that gets better as the game goes on. So they're going to want to make sure they keep feeding him the football, let him get lathered up.
Wide receiver coming across in motion. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. Knocked down after picking up 5 out to the 22.
Offensive linemen love to run the power. Why? You run power. You run power. Then you can play action. You don't want that defense to be sitting there saying, it's a pass, having to pass block every play. You got to keep defenses off balance.
Linebackers moving, trying to confuse the quarterback. To the ground to try to move the chains. He'll have the first down as he gets it to the 28-yard line before he stopped.
And I think on that last run play on third down here early in the game, they're making a statement that we believe we're the more physical team and we're going to run the football even if you know it's coming at you. Nice job. They've got the ball at midfield. I expect to see more run plays coming up.
After the run, now to throw. He turns.
Get out of here. I'll put that shit on the spot over his fucking head.
Traffic intercepted.
Good shit.
Looking for more
Get
room.
up.
He's at the 20. Touchdown Longhorn. How about that D coming up with a play like that?
What a play by the defense, coming out early in the game on the very first drive and setting the tone. Not just forcing a 3-and-out, not just forcing a punt. How about creating a turnover and taking it to the house? Pick 6.
The AT unit on the field. And the extra point makes it 7-0. They already have the lead, and they're trying to build it here in the first quarter with an onside kick. Not much drives more anxiety than waiting. And the ball's loose. offense getting set for first down. He'll try the left side. Crosses the 30. He's got away. A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the first down.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to stop this guy. They better rally to the football and get multiple hats because he is not easy to bring down.
And the Longhorns are threatening on first and goal. He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2. The big fellas line up in a goal line defense. Slams it ahead. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Texas!
There is no secret about it. Line up in goal line formation. I'm going to run the ball down your throat. My guys are more physical than you. 6 points on the play.
And the extra point makes it 14-0. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. You don't see this very often, an early onside kick when you have the lead. Few anxious moments there, but the hands team true to its name as they make the grab and get the ball.
Well, I give them a lot of credit for having guts. You normally don't see onside kicks until the very end of the game. Here we are in the first quarter, and they tried one, but it didn't work. So their defense now has to come out here and bail them out.
And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
That's a throw the QB would like to have back. He just has to do a better job giving his receiver a chance to make a catch.
And the incompletion brings up a second down for this offense. To the air, it's Glenn. Those two failed to make the connection. It's an incomplete pass. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down.
Tell you what, I don't know if the offense was expecting man coverage that time. Third and long in field goal range, you're expecting it to be zone. Instead, they lock them up man-to-man, everybody on an island, everybody won. They get the incompletion, now setting up fourth.
3 straight misfires has left them staring at 4th and 10, but they'll try it again. And it's incomplete, a missed opportunity.
Love the coverage on defense there. Fourth down. They're ready for the pass. You saw in the back end, great job being in position to make that play. And now their offense is coming on the field.
And here comes the Texas offense back on the field. That last drive really productive. David wound up with a touchdown. They'll try to do it again.
Yeah, so I don't expect this offense to change too much, Reese. They had a great drive. They got the touchdown. Everything working. I would expect them to keep pushing this ball downhill.
And just imagine if they could put another touchdown on the board right here. They could capture so much momentum in this game with back-to-back TDs.
Second and 10 after the previous play. He's looking to throw. Safe completion on the screen. And there were no creases or crevices to run through, and they shove him out of bounds.
Well, this offense will screen you in a variety of ways. They'll throw receiver screens, tight end screens. The running back screen also a big part of what they like to do, like you just saw there.
On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. Takes the easy throw in the flat. And he's going to be just short of the first down. It's going to bring up a decision for this coach.
I know that was third down, and I know the quarterback's trying to be careful. You don't want to be too greedy, but he had guys open downfield. I think if he had been a little bit more patient and been a little bit more willing to let the play develop, I think he could have converted that with a throw vertically down the field. Instead, he got lazy, checked it down to his running back, and now they're setting up fourth down.
When you're around midfield, there's not really much of a choice. Go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He'll try to do it himself. Any way you can in your freshman season at quarterback, and he gets it done on the ground.
Sometimes these guys just have eyes in the back of their head. You saw it right there. He was able to buy himself time, get outside the pocket, and at that point, I think the decision was pretty easy. Hey, I can go get this with my feet. He was able to do that. Now they got a fresh set of downs.
And the Longhorns will snap it on 1st and 10. Leaves it with the back. And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks. And now on 2nd down for this offense.